What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope all's good wherever you are. In this video, we're going to take a look at part of a live stream from Sam Richards' Penn State class, where he talks to minority students about what they think about white people. Let's get into it.
What has been your experience with white people in the United States?
So my first experience is in the first year seminar class. It was like one of the first conversations I had. It was with a white dude. He said, "Do you ride camels?"
Yeah.
And he looked like really like he was asking like, really, like, do you ride camels? So he wasn't even joking. He wasn't sarcastic, you know.
Dude. So what you discovered about white people, at least this guy, is he's really interested in camels. All right. So what else? Okay, but what else? Like, what's just your general, when you go out in public, it's like, what's your experience of white people?
Okay, one time I was in Beaver Stadium. Okay,
Yeah.
I was waiting for my friends, and this guy comes. Okay, he was offering me a beer. I said like, "Oh, I'm a minor." I didn't want to say I'm a Muslim. I just said, "Oh, I'm a minor. I can't drink. I look young." So I was like, "I'm a minor," and he was like, "Oh yeah, where are you from?" And I was like, "Give a guess." And he was like, "Oh, India." I was like, "No." I was like, "Okay. What about?" I don't know. I was like, "Okay, I'm from the Middle East," and he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been to the Middle East. I've killed some like Middle Easterns and stuff like that." And he was like, he was a little drunk. I wouldn't say, but it was really like bad. Like he wasn't like. I would say he was conscious. Okay, he said I killed some Iraqis and stuff like that. It wasn't like really a good conversation, but and then he started like talking about the FBI and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh, are you okay, man?"
So you're asking him if he's okay?
Yeah, I didn't say that. I was scared of my life, of course, because if I said anything, I just said Middle Eastern. If I said Saudi, he would. I don't know what he'd do. You know.
Okay. You gave me two experiences. What about, dude? You've been here 2 years. There's a whole bunch of white people that you're interacting with. What's your average interaction with white people?
Okay. Let's talk about the average. Okay, so most probably here people are like educated in the university.
Yeah.
So I think.
Except the guy that asked you about.
Yeah, that guy. It's crazy. Okay, so most probably, especially like in the engineering, petroleum engineering, a lot of professors are like, they have a good idea about Saudi and like Muslim people because there's like a lot of Saudis in the petroleum classes. So I don't feel like from day to day like.
Okay. How about your other classes? Do you like? I want to go back to what he said. He said like he meets people. People seem really nice. Are white people nice? On average.
Yeah, on average, yes. They're kind, especially here in State College. But I want to say like. Before coming here, I thought like life is really like dangerous. So I do have the same like thoughts you guys have back like home in Saudi. I do have thoughts like Dayos is like dangerous. There's serial killers, all kind of stuff, you know. So yeah, it's just like it's a stereotype. I just was scared of my life once I came here. So once I went with my family to Philadelphia, and we arrived at night. It was really scary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to offend anyone from here, from Philly. I guess, like, there's a lot here from Philly, but downtown Philly is really scary.
Dude, Tay knows, man. She's from Philly, and that's why she's here. She's like, shit. All right, okay. All right, okay. So in other words, white people are okay. It's black people. They're scary. White people are all right, though.
No, I didn't say that.
I thought he just said that. Didn't he just say that?
I said
no,
Philly.
You said Philly.
I said Philly.
All right. In fairness, you did say Philly. All right. I guess
no,
I'm the racist.
It wasn't. No. It wasn't like black people.
No.
You're putting words in my mouth.
I know I am, dude.
I'm talking generally.
No. He's all good. Yeah. You're good, bro. When you have I said anything that like pops out for you? Did he say anything that kind of comes out of like what's your general experience of white people as a you know, someone who's East Asian, Korean? Your general experience, not like, you know, we're going to talk about specific experiences.
When I introduce myself, I'm from Korea, then the follow-up question usually comes up, are you from North or South? So, like, I'm sure someone has asked that question. It's not somehow it's not really offensive question, but I think it's a bit ignorant question. Like, have you been on the news? Like, would I be in the U.S. if I were from? Well, okay.
No, the chances are highly unlikely.
Yeah, the chances are highly unlikely that I'm talking to you one-on-one.
Okay, and then just what else though? What's your average perception of white people?
So most of my friends that I met from Penn State are white. They're usually in sororities.
Are they nice? Are they?
Yeah, they're nice. They're my friends. So, but when I'm on FaceTime, when I'm back in Korea and I'm like on FaceTime with them, they always ask like, "Is there Starbucks in Korea?" Like, they always ask like
Stuff like that.
like them thinking that some other country other than the U.S. is underdeveloped or like not westernized enough. I don't know. Like,
Okay, so one of your experiences of people, is that unique to white? Is that all people? That can't be just white people, because like black and brown people are pretty not very aware either.
could be, but unfortunately, my friend group is not that diverse.
Okay.
So I can't really say that, not intentionally, but like.
I'll get to what the Middle Eastern young man said in a second. What this young lady said when people ask her about if she's from North Korea or South Korea, I get that if you are in the know, if you know what's up, that's a silly question. We have to understand that no matter who you're talking to, there is a difference, a genuine difference between showing interest in someone's culture and asking a question and racism. I was lucky in my life through my 20s and into my early 30s. I'm closer to 40 now. I got to travel to many countries around the world, and it's why I travel, to learn about people's culture, to educate myself on the world. It was the best education I've ever had. But when did asking people about their culture become racism? And some people don't know. How many times have we seen these man on the street videos, either on YouTube or you watch late night TV like Kimmel or what's the other bozo, Fallon? They'll have some guy going on campus asking the students a question. Can you name 10 states or 5 states? And they can't name any. Or name me 5 countries, and they name Europe and Africa as countries instead of knowing that they're continents. Now, obviously in these videos, some people know the answers, but they don't make the cutting room floor because it doesn't make for good TV. But it is sad that these are adults in university that they barely know anything about the world, but that doesn't make them racist, no matter what color skin they are, right? A good example of this is my wife is Thai. We spend a great deal amount of time in Thailand. The Thai people, to me, are the best part of going to Thailand. They're such nice, caring, warm-hearted people as a whole, for sure. But have I had some bad interactions? Of course, 100%. But just because you have a couple of bad interactions, like that young kid mentioned, somebody asked him about camels, and he had the story about Philadelphia, which I call cap on that story. But whether it's true or not, just because you have a couple of bad interactions with, I don't know, a couple of black guys or a couple of white guys, and most of your interactions, that's why Sam Richards is asking him, what are most of your day-to-day interactions like? Because that's how you have to judge a culture of people on, right? You can't judge them based on the 2 or 3 bad apples, or you can't judge them on the 2 or 3 great people, or really nice people, if the rest of them have been bad to you. Again, I said it, I've been lucky enough to travel around the world to many countries, and I will say that in most places that you go in the world, people are inherently good. These examples are scraping the bottom of the barrel if you're trying to point out racism here. This is victim mentality, and it's a sickness that is being taught in a lot of these universities. We need more teachers out there like Sam Richards. Let's get back to the video.
Being in Madison, like I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, which is predominantly white, and I went to like private school, which was 99% white, and I was the one girl who was bringing the diversity to the whole school. So
and there your experience of white people is
that, I mean, they were curious about me. They wanted to get to know me because everyone had their families, and I was living alone. Like I was living with my host family, so they always like try to invite me to Thanksgiving, Christmas. So yeah, people are friendly and nice, but I don't think it was because they were white people. I think it was because they're people.
They're more, but it's okay. Yep, and I think, but on average, Americans are pretty friendly. But nonetheless, lots of people around the world are very friendly. But Americans are at the upper, more friendly kind of area, us group. Yeah. Okay. But you'd say at the same time, though, you don't really see I'm hearing people, there's not like really a great difference. It's Americans.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, bro, how do people in Nigeria, before you came here, when you think about coming here and being with white people and like black Americans, like how do people distinguish? Do people like, to what degree do people see black Americans as just white American, you know, like they don't make a distinction?
Okay. So first off, for black Americans, most of us, especially in the middle class Nigerian home, we grew up watching CNN, BBC, Sky, like mostly Western media. So every time we see images of our country, our people, is often bad. But a few times we see images of black people, is of black Americans. And it's like, oh, entertainment, you know, popular actors, athletes. So black Americans kind of like form like a positive image of black people. Like that was like the only positive image of black people we saw in the media. And
oh, you mean people who are in entertainment and performance arts? Okay. Because otherwise you see negative images?
Yeah, mostly every time we saw about Africa in whole, it's mostly, oh, donates to this, or some kid on the news that's malnourished. But I do want to point out about you said something about racism.
Yeah.
So for Nigerians especially, from my class, from lower class to middle class, from where I am now, for racism, we didn't only like think white people, because we've had a lot of experiences. We've had racism from Arabs. We've had racism from.
Dude, wait, hang on one second. Yo, can you stop talking? Really? Thanks, man. Now he's talking about your people, bro. I'm gonna let him throw you under the bus. All right, go ahead. Tell us about the racist Arabs.
So we have a lot of Arabs in the country, and we also have a lot of Indians and a lot of Chinese people too. And our experiences with them most times are very racist, like they think we're inferior to them. So when we think about racism in general, it wasn't just white people.
Okay.
It was basically almost everybody against us.
Okay.
So when I came to the US and I heard of POC as a term,
people of color.
People of color, is like a united kind of alliance between every minority. It was kind of like a shock, because from where I'm coming from, we haven't had this united theme with.
Got you. Yep.
Yeah, other people of color that, we all suffering racism against white people or from white people or something like that.
Okay, I got you. So this is really interesting, right? You're seeing like how, like here in the United States, if you're an American in particular, we have this sense of like this vision of the way we categorize racial groups and so on. Like it just defines everything about life, but it doesn't define most of the world. It's a very unique perception or way of seeing things here. So when you think about black American, so here you have African Americans, right? African American. We can come back to this and have another class on it. It would be really interesting to have a conversation between Africans and African Americans. But like, how distinctly do people on average see African Americans? Like, how distinct are they from white Americans? Let me just stick with black and white.
So first off, we know we're different from African Americans.
Okay.
And then, obviously, white Americans are different from African Americans. And I would be lying to say we haven't seen stereotypes of African Americans, especially in our media. And a lot of times, sometimes they're portrayed as good, like popular actors and the likes, and sometimes they're portrayed as like really bad, like robberies, murders, a lot. So I think from my limited view of African Americans before coming to the US. That was probably it. It was like the good side, they're big, they represent black people in a good image sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they represent black people in a bad image.
Okay, so let me ask this. This will be my last question to you. So, like, is there a to what degree, where's the conversation about black Americans that's like, who want to really identify with Africa, but they're Americans? It's like, they're like, dude, you're an African. And like, you're an American. Like, what's this stuff about African American, like whatever? Is that a conversation among a lot of Nigerians?
I will say we do like encourage a lot of, like back home, a lot of African Americans to come visit or see the culture and stuff like that. Yes, but to say that we're like the same people is kind of like bizarre. Now, yes, we know that from history, they did descend from West Africa, primarily Nigeria and Ghana. We know of this. Yes, but like, we feel like they've made a history for themselves and a culture for themselves that we are now distinct groups.
Got you. So it's a distinct world. It's like you're from the continent. They're not from the continent. They're from the United States.
Yes, they're Americans.
Got you. Yeah, they're Americans. They got an American passport, and so okay, I got you. It's really gets complex then. Like all of these kinds of conversations. So what I'm doing in this particular conversation right here is just like jamming things up a little bit, trying to like stir up the pot so that we start thinking about things in really complex ways. Because when I think about race relations, like, and so for Stella here, like I'm thinking about you, and I'm going to have you back up a different time and in a few weeks on a different thing. But like when I think about this conversation, I think this is really complex. And people have very different perspectives on it. You like one is the United States isn't the center of the world, right? It's not the center of the world, man, and it's not the center. And we don't define all relationships between race, ethnic, and cultural groups. Okay, all right, cool. Hey, thanks. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks, guys. You can just leave that.
This is why we have to stop identifying everybody by their gender, by their skin color, by their race. Look, you can be proud of your culture, but at the end of the day, if you're going to live there, you're becoming a citizen, or you're born in America, you're American. We should just all call ourselves American. Enough with this. I'm a black American, I'm a brown American, I'm a Hispanic American, I'm a Chinese American, I'm a Vietnamese American. And the sooner we start doing that, the better it's going to be. Because for everybody who thinks that America is a racist country, or the Western countries, I'll say Western countries. I'll include Canada in there. I'll include Great Britain. Try traveling to other countries. The black American kid mentioned Middle Eastern people. I had a business that used to be based in Dubai. And when you do visit Middle Eastern countries, you can just see it, that black people are definitely not treated as good as lighter skinned people or the native people that live there. I could say the same about a lot of Asian countries. The standard of beauty, the one girl's from South Korea, the standard of beauty is to have this pearly white, like porcelain skin. The whiter your skin, often the better job opportunities you will have. Like, again, assuming you can qualify for it, but if you're working at a hotel, for example, the very white skinned men and women, Asian men and women, will be working the counter, they'll be working reception, they'll be serving you in the restaurant, whereas the darker skin, they'll be changing the room, they'll be doing the maid jobs, the cleaning, more of the grunt work. And that's in a lot of Asian countries. Western cultures are the best cultures to ever exist. They are the freest, use America. It is a place that you can go from anywhere in the world, and if you make a series of great decisions, you can make life-changing decisions, create generational wealth for yourself and for your family. And again, if you make shitty decisions, you can end up in a shitty situation. But nowhere else in the world can you do that. There's only a few countries. That is possible because we all have equal opportunity, because it is not inherently racist. It is not systemically racist. Are you going to encounter racist people? Sure. Great video by Sam Richards. I love these lectures. I hope you guys like him as well. If you do, smash that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. Help it grow. Catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.